Sports Limelight. Greetings, Drew.
Well, good evening, Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'd say I have everything covered. How about you?
I'm working undercover today.
All right.
Now, was that Rush that we played? Was that Limelight from Rush?
It was a cover of Limelight. The topic of today's show, covers.
Nice.
In music. What makes a good cover? What do you look for in a cover?
Well, that depends on the artist, I guess. If you have two artists that are kind of in the same genre, it's probably going to sound similar with like a couple of kinks here and there, but you know, you have like an acoustic version or an electric version that could sound way different, but ultimately as good.
Yeah. What I look for, a band to put their own mark on it, but not in a disrespectful way, and that's kind of Puff Daddy covering anything is going to make me angry, you know, whether it's a Led Zeppelin song or, you know, who are you to do this? And
right.
You're not, like, rapping over Kashmir is not putting your own spin on it like I'm describing. I like the kind of cover where, here, listen to Anthrax covering the Rush song Anthem here, and you'll see what I mean. It sounds like Anthrax, and they're putting their take on a Rush song. And it works all around. It's an honor to Rush. You hear Anthem, you enjoy Anthem, and it's in the Anthrax sound.
Yeah, it sounds like what a Rush tribute band might sound like.
Yes. And not just trying to do it exactly like Rush.
Right.
Can't quite have that either.
Right.
It's kind of empty if you do that.
So do you have any favorite covers of your own though, Bill?
You know what's interesting? All Along the Watchtower is a cover, right? Jimi Hendrix was doing a cover there. So sometimes you have, I don't know if these qualify, where they're so well known, but they were a cover and maybe not everyone knows that. Tina Turner covered CCR's Proud Mary, and she kind of gets more attention for that than it being a CCR song.
Right. I have All Along the Watchtower on my list too.
All right.
But I will, this is my disclaimer before I begin. My belief that the original of every song is always going to be better than any cover, because without the original you can't have the cover.
That's right.
So by default it has to be better or the best. But with that said, there are some pretty good covers out there, like All Along the Watchtower, like you said. And did you know that Respect by Aretha Franklin is a cover?
I did not know that.
There you go. It was actually recorded by Otis Redding,
Ooh.
like a year earlier, or maybe even the same year, but she had the hit with it.
Interesting.
Oh, also Zeppelin's first album. That's a good cover. Nothing but blues standards. I mean, they put their own spin on it, and they actually got sued for a few of the songs that they did.
Wow, never heard that.
That's why people like in the Zeppelin realm call it the best cover album ever, something like that. But
their first album, every single song is a cover?
No, but it's they didn't give credit for taking some of the blues riffs into the song. So they just made it into like a rock blues song didn't give credit where credit was due. That's why they got sued.
Wow.
So every issue of it now has the lyrics by blah 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 or whatever, music by B.B. King, you know. It's kind of funny. But some really cool covers. How about Van Halen's You Really Got Me?
Oh, that is perfect.
Isn't that cool?
Talk about a band putting its own stamp on a song with their classic sound. That's a great one.
Yeah, Eddie Van Halen's the man. Speaking of Van Halen, how about David Lee Roth, California Girls?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It was kind of fun in his own way. I mean, it's not the Beach Boys, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? How about 3 covers for one song? Check this out.
A song that's been covered 3 times? Ooh. Well, All Along the Watchtower was also covered by U2 rather well.
And I think Dave Matthews did it too, like a live version.
Okay.
But an actual 3 artists did the same song, and they were all hits.
Wow.
All in the studio. It was Heard It Through the Grapevine.
Oh, I never knew that. 3 times.
It was Marvin Gaye. Obviously, he had the big hit. CCR did it. There's like an 11-minute version, and it is awesome. You got to check it out.
Oh, I will.
Just complete cool. Drums are cool. They're like really nice fill-ins, and then there's like a 5-minute solo guitar solo.
So we heard it through the grapevine again and again.
And then the third one is Martha Reeve and the Vandellas. I think they did it. And it's more like upbeat, you know.
That's neat.
And not many people know that Creep is three cover songs too. TLC, Stone Temple Pilots, and Radiohead. It's kind of weird how those 3 songs came out like within 2 or 3 years of each other.
Oh yeah, they were all early 90s, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Same song title and different meanings.
Someone was creeping around stealing titles. That's
right.
what was going on.
Man. Stealing more titles than Puff Daddy.
Rush has a cover of Paint It Black that they performed at the Toronto Rocks Festival. That was pretty neat. Just an instrumental version there, but well Rushified there.
Right. How about a band that covers its own song? Like acoustically, like Nirvana Unplugged or something like that.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I have another example of that. The Offspring, they had a song, Dirty Magic, from the early 90s. They redid it on their latest album, Days Go By, released in 2012. My theory is that they now have the ability to make it sound way better than they did when they were kind of starting out, maybe on an independent label with a very low budget.
Okay.
So, and it really does sound more powerful and full.
Right.
So, no words were changed or anything like that, but just they felt like they could do it better the way they may have originally wanted to.
Are you familiar with The Police?
A little bit.
They also did a thing like that where the song Don't Stand So Close to Me, they remade it. Let's see, this was like 83 was when it came out. But then they redid it in 86 and it was like much slower and kind of cheesy.
So they should have left it alone.
Yeah, with the whole Police vibe and like reggae kind of a thing.
Yeah.
They slowed it down.
You know, another song that should have been left alone. Guns N' Roses, Don't Cry. And then they did, that was Use Your Illusion 1. Then on Use Your Illusion 2, they did Don't Cry with alternate lyrics. What was the deal with that?
Alternate lyrics?
Yeah, and it just sounded off. Like, I'm at a loss for a metaphor here because a good metaphor is, it just sounded like a band was off key when something doesn't sound right to you. But this is literally what it was. Like, it was in the wrong key and, alternate lyrics, of course, as the title goes, and just all wrong.
Man. So it'd be like running a play out of your playbook and then running it again with like the lineman as the running back.
Ooh, good comparison. I thought you were going to go with when you flip it on Madden, you push the X button and it gives you a mirror image of that play, run to the other side. But
right. Yeah, it's all messed up. The guard is taking snaps and all that stuff. But remember Knock Knock Knocking on Heaven's Door?
That's a cover.
That's a cover.
Yeah. That's a rather good cover.
Yeah, they have their own twist to it and everything, and Eric Clapton's done it. So that's actually another a 3-song gem.
There we go, another 3-fer.
I think it's not uncommon for artists to have at least one cover in their debut album, just to kind of get familiar with their sound, with a song that people know already.
Yeah, that is a good approach.
Like Van Halen did in their first record. And with Ed Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Check out all these covers we're doing, but we're not telling you they're covers.
Just familiar enough to bring you into the tent.
Yeah, like, this is what this band sounds like, and I've heard this song, so let's hear some of their material. If we ever start a band, let's have our first album have a cover in it.
Let's do that. We'll cover another sports radio talk show.
Ooh, I like it.
We'll just say exactly what they said and not give them credit.
Yeah, and just our voices.
Yeah.
Put our spin on it. Hi, I'm Mike. This is my friend Mike.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I hate Notre Dame. That's all I know about that big guy, Mike Golick.
We will not talk about the Brett Favre scandal on this show. Brett Favre is a partner of ours. We want to be able to interview him in the future. We will not talk about the Brett Favre scandal.
Hey, my brother was on Saved by the Bell college years. And he was on Tecmo.
Ooh. Was Saved by the Bell the college years? That was, in a way, a cover of Saved by the Bell.
Oh, you're right.
Which was a cover of Good Morning, Miss Bliss. 3 covers. Boom.
Wow, wow. That's a total cover because you can have spin-offs, which would be like Dave Grohl starting a new band.
Yeah.
But it's still Dave Grohl, and you're like, let's follow him. It's not like, Cheers, where like they like have a bar in a mental institution or something, or an old folks home.
That's a future episode. Spin-offs.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
We could do a whole one on spin-off TV shows.
So then what about, like, sequels to movies? Are those covers?
In a way, they are.
You know? It's kind of, the same people and everything.
And also, in a way, a cover of a movie is a remake, where you get
right.
Colin Farrell to do Total Recall. Getting his Colin Farrell smeared all over the great Arnold Schwarzenegger classic. They redid Red Dawn recently, too. I haven't watched that, but come on, you can't improve upon Swayze.
No, you can't. It's tough to cover Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, isn't it?
It's got to be.
Like,
you can't talk like him.
Yeah, he's the ultimate muscular hero, man. Like,
yep.
He's unstoppable. Could you imagine if, like, Rocky was running away from the T-1000? Sounds funny, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so funny you mentioned Stallone there because in Last Action Hero, have you seen Last Action Hero?
Yes, one time, but I remember it.
Yeah, it's probably been a while. But it was generally panned as a bad movie. I enjoyed it. I was laughing with it, not at it. It knew what it was doing there, kind of mocking the action movie, not taking itself seriously.
Right.
I feel like the critics thought the movie was taking itself seriously, but in the movie, they're in a movie store, and it's like Terminator 2, and the picture is Stallone, and he looks like he's doing that same exact pose
really?
That Schwarzenegger did.
Wow.
And, Schwarzenegger himself, of course, is in the scene as his character. So
Right. So what movie covers would you like to see? Or movie
Ooh,
remakes?
what movie could be remade today? A couple months back, we talked about how Caddyshack and Animal House were not as funny as most, maybe from that era, think they are. Mm-hmm. Maybe those could be actually made funny today.
Right.
Because the premises are pretty good. And
Yeah.
And Animal House is kind of a much imitated premise, with the Krusty
frat,
Dean and the frat. So I guess Old School was almost a cover of Animal House. So maybe someone can cover Caddyshack.
Would you like to see another Back to the Future?
No.
Yeah.
I think they're perfect as they were.
My friend and I at work were talking about, even if they did agree on a 4, what would the premise be?
Yeah.
Like, where would they go? They've already gone back and forward. Like,
right.
Like, where'd you go?
Yeah, you have to go really far into the future, but then you couldn't use the same selves, because if you go to 2045, Marty is almost dead.
Right. Yeah.
Or I guess he'd be,
You'd like
grandpa.
save him from his dying bed,
Yeah.
Or you
not
could.
much consequence.
I was thinking that maybe somebody in 1955, when Marty McFly pushes the DeLorean behind that sign.
Yeah.
This is, building the Twin Pines.
Ooh.
What if somebody saw it and messed with it and went somewhere like in time?
Oh, yeah.
And they have to try and get it back.
They went farther ahead than 2015, so they haven't yet seen the implications of what happened. Maybe they went to 2020 and did something. So they need to, 2020 comes along.
Right.
They need to they realize they need to stop that or reverse it.
Ooh, I got one. Doc and Marty get in trouble with the plutonium, and they flee the country to Canada. And Rush gets in the car and goes to 2112. And they're like, "Oh, this is not what we thought it would be."
Perfect.
Hey, it could happen.
And the soundtrack is Huey Lewis and the News covering Rush.
Oh, I like it.
They're playing 2112.
Oh man.
Temples of Syrinx. Bam, bam, bam.
Oh man. Gotta get back in the limelight.
Sports Limelight, thanks for covering all this ground with us.
Right on. Hopefully you didn't cover your ears the whole time.
See you soon.